Welcome to Gemini season. And in this video, where life moves fast, ideas spark like lightning, and we're going to talk about the master multitasker of the Zodiac, Unleashed, okay? So if you don't already know me, I'm Ev Zerverdakis, founder of Holistic Healing Astrology, and I'm here to enlighten you for the upcoming Gemini season. If you're new to astrology, this is a great channel for you to get the foundation and the basics and to clarify a lot of the gaps that you might have. So I'm going to use my notes so we could really get a good idea. And then I'm going to show you the actual wheel and the planetary positions so we could look at the full moon and the new moon, which will be, the new moon will be in Gemini. The full moon will be in Sagittarius, opposite, of course, the sun in Gemini. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I read all my comments. And of course, let me know what you're thinking. If you have any suggestions, and upcoming, because of Tom Cruise's new movie, I'm going to do his celebrity chart. Just a quick little, maybe 10-15 minutes to show you how he fits the role as a performer and being his own stuntman. It's all in this chart. Of course, the chart shows the optimal expression, and it's your free will that will either do the possibilities of the chart or hold back a little bit. So what is Gemini? Where is Gemini in your natal chart? Now, you might be a Gemini sun because you were born between the end of May, because tomorrow, May 20th to June 21st, is this year's Gemini season. So every year it might change a little bit because it goes by the 0 degrees of Gemini all the way to 29 degrees. So I will show you this on the share. So here we go. We have 0 degrees Sun, Gemini, and we're going to ignore the houses because we're just going to focus on the planets, and that which are the actors, and the signs, which is the costume that they wear. That's what gives them their personality. So Gemini is an air sign. What does that mean? It just means that it is they're intellectuals, they're very social, and it's also a mutable sign, which means they're very adaptable and flexible. So duality is one of the key traits of a Gemini. They can do more than one thing at once and do it very well. And they're very good at it. However, you might have this trait yourself, so you might want to look at your natal chart. And if in your natal chart, Gemini is on one of your angles, and in these 4 lines on the cusp of the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house, where it's very active and very sensitive, then you might be a true multitasker, depending on that's the root of who you are, or that's your personality that other people see, or whether it has to do with one-on-one relationships or in your career. So also the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury, a lot of the information and data about astrology comes from the Greek mythology. So the god of the messengers, or the messenger god, was Hermes, and Mercury, had wings on the feet, and he would just move things from one place to another, the great communicator, and very quick. They're very witty. They love to learn. They love to teach. The great communicator. So look on your natal chart and see which houses Gemini lies. And you're going to go from 0 degrees. So Gemini in this would be from here. This is 0 degrees all the way to the end, which is 29 degrees and 59 minutes. And that would be essentially one sign. Gemini is in your chart. So, pet peeve of mine is when I hear someone say, oh, those Scorpios are no good. Oh, those Geminis are two-faced and they're just no good. Look, you have every single zodiac sign in your chart. So you don't want to be hating on yourself because it's just not cool. Okay? So I'm here to help you understand astrology. But if you have any comments, I'd like to hear them. And let's move on. It's a mutable sign. It's ruled by Mercury. And it's also very comfortable in the 3rd house. And the way you learn astrology is you look at the natural zodiac, and the 3rd house belongs with Gemini, which belongs with Mercury. And that's how you learn Gemini energy in a nutshell, because it's vibrational. So what we're doing is we're taking vibration and frequency and energy and trying to translate that vibrational energy into a language. Astrology is nothing more than a symbolic language that we have to put words to. But it is very scientific because it's based on the precision of the cycling planets in the sky. And that is all mathematics, geometry, and mathematics. So we have 0 degrees Gemini, 8 minutes. What makes this Gemini season unique? And every Gemini season is different because all the other planets, and I use like 13 different points. However, the sky with the cycling planets change. The sun moves 1 degree a day. So we have to acknowledge that each planet or point has a rate of speed. So we measure not by miles per hour, but we measure the speed of the planet or point by the degrees they move in a day or a week or a year or a month, okay? So the sun is about 1 degree a day. So in about 30 days, it's going to go through Gemini, and then it will land up right here in Cancer. But what's unique about this year's Gemini, because last year this was not the same, is we have Gemini energy paired up with Uranus energy, which is very interesting. And Uranus is soon, not quickly, because Uranus goes very slowly, it's going to move into Gemini. So the sun has passed out Uranus because it goes much faster. Uranus moves maybe 10 degrees a year, maybe, okay? Because they go forward and backward and forward. The sun does not go backwards or retrograde, all right? So out of all the points and planets here, the quickest is, of course, Mercury. So Mercury will eventually pass out the sun and pass out, go flying past, like on the highway in the left lane, Uranus. So right now, Uranus and the sun are close together. So if you have your sun sign in Gemini, that means for the whole month you will shine and be more extroverted, and you'll be getting more attention on the intellectual front, on the communication front. So if you're doing anything Gemini-like, teaching, training, consulting, writing a book, anything like that, or even exchange, like trade and commerce. It's funny that we are talking so much about commerce and trade in a big way because a while back, Jupiter went into Gemini. But now Jupiter's already in 25 degrees of Gemini. So we're moving now. The sun is going to move forward. So what does this mean when, I know I jump around, forgive me, but what does this mean when Uranus is close to the sun? Well, that means that we are going to all feel a little bit of excitement, a nervous energy, maybe nerve-wracking energy. Also, we may be getting some shocking and unexpected news, especially when it comes to the dark kind of emotions that have to do with abuse, trafficking, sex trafficking, prostitution, all that kind of detached, raw energy, that raw feminine energy, but it also is empowerment too. And Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio, which is very much dark, sexual, and also it rules the 8th house, which has to do with money, finances. It's also got a psychological tone, and it's very intense. And Scorpio has to do with secrets and exposing the secrets sometimes. So there you have it. I mean, if you haven't heard from either social media or the news, I don't watch the news, but I do get my fill of the social media platforms for my news because I like to hear interviews and I like to hear stuff coming out of the person's mouth themselves. I don't need a reporter telling me what they heard or what they thought they heard because that's how we got into this problem in the first place. Journalism has gone down the tube, but it's getting better now. What this means is there's going to be a lot of excitement. There also could be a lot of earthquake activity as well. So if you want to know where this possibly dark excitement is in your chart, and it could mean all kinds of different things. I mean, each planet and each sign, every component in astrology has at least 10 keywords. 10. So finding the right keyword is an art. That's the art, because you kind of have to massage your way through it, have a two-way conversation with your client. But for you want to look on your chart and see, where is Gemini on the chart? So that's one of the things that it makes this sun, very unique. However, you see these blue lines over here? These blue lines are aspects, but they're, for you, if you're not sure what an aspect is, it means that the sun is having a sort of relationship of opportunity and support, as long as you take the opportunity, with these planets here, Neptune, Saturn, and the North Node. Neptune being in Aries, it just graced itself into Aries, but it's going to go back into Pisces. Well, what is Neptune? Neptune is the invisible world, that magical world. It's about film, music, dance, any form of escape, drugs, alcohol. It's also victimization. Now, isn't this interesting how these victims from the past are now coming out and speaking about it? And look at this, 29 degrees. Anytime you see 29 degrees in an astrology chart, put on the brakes, because it means this is critical. What does critical mean? Well, it's like critical ICU in the hospital. It's critical condition. So that means, okay, all the monitors are on. We got to make sure that everybody's okay because there's an urgency. There's an urgency and we got to finish. That kind of thing. So you got to monitor it. Just like in ICU, we got watch the equipment, watch the monitors. Also, with these opportunities with not only Neptune, and this has to do with ourselves. Are we in chaos because of this information with the sun right now, opposite Black Moon Lilith? And anything opposite means there's a tug of war and a need to balance. A need to balance. Well, we have 29 over here. 29 degrees Saturn in Pisces, because very soon Saturn, the planet of reality, the planet of lessons, the planet of discipline, the planet of karma, the planet that is represented by seriousness and hard work, no fooling around. It's slow, it's methodical, it's the ruling planet of Capricorn, which is like accomplishments and achievements, all very goal oriented. But it's in Pisces, which has to do with spirituality and imagination and solitude. So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so they have similar energies. And we see here that we might want to just take a break and escape and be by ourselves and put the covers over our head and just say, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you all later until this all blows over. Okay? And it's funny I said blows over because, it's an air sign and it has to do with winds and things like that, Gemini. So that's how we start the season. Oh, well, we can't forget that the sun in Gemini is flowing a trine to Pluto. Pluto, the most intense planet. It's when the atomic bomb was discovered or created, So it's intense and it transforms and it's irreversible changes. So it will never go back to the way it was, but usually it gets better than it was before. It's letting go. Don't be a control freak. Pluto and Scorpio, they could be controlling, all right, and manipulating. So don't be running around with your hair on fire saying, Ev said that Scorpios are controlling and manipulative. No, they can be, or they may find themselves in a position to manipulate or control a certain situation, but some control is good. So how you use these planets is where your free will comes in. And it's totally up to you how you use the planets. Well, so the first moon phase of importance, and we're going to look at the ephemeris here, if I could get this to work. Here we go on the ephemeris, and that's just a tabulation of the planetary positions by degrees and signs. And we have here Eastern time, the moon phases, May 26th. The new moon is going to be 6 degrees Gemini. So check your chart and see where you're going to have new beginnings. Make your new moon intentions. Put them in present form or present tense. And then the full moon in this Gemini season will be June 11th, 20 degrees Sagittarius, opposite 20 degrees Gemini. find those positions in your chart, and you'll see where the full moon will affect you, which house, which area of life. And I will be coming out with videos on how to read the tabulation chart, grid, and much more helpful information. But I do have how to read the ephemeris. Just search it in my YouTube channel and you'll find it. There's all kinds of great information in this. If you like this video and you have some Gemini friends or astrology lover friends, go ahead and share this video with them. Give me a thumbs up. And you might want to subscribe if you don't want to miss my videos. I try to post at least 1 to 2 a month. And when I'm ambitious, I do 4. This month, I'll be very ambitious because I have a lot of energy in the summer. I'm a Gemini sun myself, so it's a lot of work, and I'm happy to do it. It brings me great joy. If you want any cheat sheets that I have created, you just go straight onto my website, click on the books tab, and get the Astrologer's Time Saver. It's over 2,500 keywords in a chart form. And let me see, I will show you very quickly. This is one of 128 pages of the Astrologer's Time Saver, and this is the format of the cheat sheet. So Gemini keywords cheat sheet needs communication. The phrase is I think, I exchange. They can think on their feet. They learn by exchanging, lightens up things. It's mental contacts. They're very much in their head. If you have a lot of things going on in Gemini and not enough Earth, let's say, you could be very much in your head all the time. So it might be helpful to get someone that could partner up and help you get grounded and stay focused. They could be scattered, superficial. They love the latest fashions, nervous energy, very well planned, versatile, witty, wordy, publishers, authors, writers. It's a very cerebral sign. And then down here we have that it's a third sign, it's an air sign, and it goes on and on. So if you like something like this, you could get the ebook straight off of my website. There's no Amazon or anything like that. It goes straight into your inbox, and it is a very good price for all the content. It took me 5 years to accumulate everything. No, it took me 50 years to accumulate all the words, and I'm always changing it up and adding more words and deleting old words, that don't relate, because now Gemini has to do with computers, because computers are a way, telephone is a way of communicating. You see, we have to keep up to date with the new words throughout humanity, okay? So hop on to holistichealingastrology.com, click on the books tab, and you'll see the 3 books that I have self-published. And I thank you for that little commercial break. And I hope to see you soon. Till next time, all my love. Take care, guys.